National debt was practically born in the War of Independence. The pattern of wartime debt expansion can be seen in the War of 1812, when the national debt nearly tripled between 1811 and 1816, and the Mexican War area, when the debt more than quadrupled between 1845 and 1851, and the Civil War, when the debt increased 42-fold between 1860 and 1866, in the Spanish-American War era, when the debt rose 50% between 1893 and 1899. So clearly, there's a pattern here between war and peace times. When the world seemed to be at war, debt increased. And then when we had peace, debt seemed to remain the same. And it shows again in World War I when the debt increased 21-fold between 1914 and 1919. World War II also fit the pattern. The debt increased nearly sixfold between 1939 and 1946. The longest sustained period of debt reduction occurred after the Civil War from 1866 to 1893, when the federal government ran a budget surplus every year and cut the debt to about a third of its initial value. The last sustained reduction came in the 1920s, when the debt was reduced to less than two-thirds of its 1919 level. This was a favorite policy of the Treasury Secretary Andrew Mellon, a conservative banker. The year 1930 represented a watershed in the history of the national debt. High national debt equals little economic growth slash weaker job markets. So people ask how this affects us. It affects me by having higher interest rates, higher taxes, and higher inflation. And some ways that I've noticed to help solve the problem, which I looked up myself, is when unemployment drops, the deficit as a percentage of GDP drops. When unemployment rises, the deficit rises. And one thing that most people may not know is that there was actually at a point in time where the U.S. was debt free.